Most men think they have a self, one chooser, one identity, one voice making decisions. But that's wrong. You're not one thing. You're a swarm, a parliament, a pack of competing drives, vying for control inside the same skull. I'm gonna break this down cleanly into 5 sections so you can actually understand what's happening inside of you. This is probably gonna shatter the illusion of free will that most men have. Inside of you is a whole ecosystem of drives and impulses. Let's just call them drives, competing drives. You have a dominance drive that pushes you towards mastery and discipline. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I'm mostly speaking to your dominance drive. You also have a solitude drive. I speak to this drive inside of you as well. And this is when I'm telling you guys to read and write and reflect and think in solitude. And then there's the comfort drive. This is the one I try to make weaker. Tell you guys to limit or to ignore your comfort drive. This is the drive that wants to get high or get drunk. It wants to eat junk food. It wants to eat sweets. This is a very strong drive for many men, the comfort drive. This channel on the surface is all about female nature dating. And this is speaking to your bonding drive. It's speaking to your sex drive. You want to have sex. You want intimacy. You want love and connection with women. So I'm speaking to that drive. If you want that part of yourself to be successful, you're going to have to work with some of the other drives, like the mastery and discipline drives. If you let your sex drive overwhelm you and decide the overwhelming majority of your decisions, it's actually counterproductive to achieving the fulfillment of what that drive wants. There's so many different drives inside of you, so many different parts of yourself. You're not one thing. I didn't even go over like half of the potential drives you have. There's the exploration drive. You seek risk and you seek adventure and excitement out in the world. And all of these drives are competing. They each have their own rhythm and they're each vying for control at any given time. So you can't actually choose your actions. What you can do is you can starve or feed different drives to make them stronger or weaker. So any one of these drives can take over at any moment. And your job is to basically be like an engineer of self. You want to engineer the circumstances and environment and the situation where the drives that you want to be the strongest are the strongest, and the drives you want to be the weakest are the weakest. So you can't completely get rid of some of these drives, like the comfort drive. You're not going to get rid of that. All you can do is make it weaker so that it doesn't rule. It doesn't get to have a say in what actions you take. But ultimately, you don't have free will. You can't just choose what to do. Your drives and impulses will choose what you do. And then after the fact, you'll rationalize it and say, oh, I chose that because of whatever reason you come up with. So the impulses, they make the choice for you. And then your brain rationalizes, oh, why did I do that? It's because of this. But really, it's not because of that. It's because that drive won in that moment. Society is set up in a way that free will is a real thing. The world will treat you as if you are one self, one commander making free choices. But this is a complete illusion. It's a useful fiction. This helps us to have like a coherent world and society and a self-perception of who we are. It's not real. And it'll help you to understand why it's not real. Some days your dominance drive will win and you'll wake up early, You'll be disciplined. You'll go to the gym. You'll do all the correct behaviors. But some days your comfort drive will win, and you'll sleep in, you'll smoke weed, you'll watch porn. And most guys who believe in this illusion of free will, they'll feel guilt and shame if their comfort drive happens to win that day. Some days the comfort drive will win. Some days the vitality or dominance drive will win. And you can do things to like engineer which drives are stronger. But at the end of the day, you don't have a free choice of what you do. It's just competing drives and impulses. And the feeling of shame and guilt, this is all because of morality, specifically Christian morality. Morality in general, and Christian morality included, is a human construct. There is no morality in the universe. Human beings created the concept of morality. So you feel shame and guilt because of a human created concept, not because there's something objectively morally wrong about your comfort drive winning and making you behave in a way that is looked down upon by society, like jerking off, smoking weed, whatever. These are not morally wrong things that you should feel guilty or shameful for. They're just natural instincts and drives that are driving your behavior. It's not moral, it's mechanical. It's like probability vectors of which drive will win at any given moment. And so many factors come into play. The sun, the amount of sunshine outside, the amount of caffeine in your body. Did you get some movement recently? Did you get good sleep last night? What's the weather like? Is there music playing? All these like millions of different little variables impact your drives and which drive will come out on top and make you do whatever actions that you're doing. So all these environmental things have a huge influence on your swarm of competing drives and impulses that lead to your behavior. It's only after the fact that after you've already done the behavior, your brain rationalizes, oh, I chose to do that because of this. But really, you didn't choose anything. Your drives chose for you. And when I say for you, you are the drives. You are all these different selves, all these competing, contradictory parts of you determine your behavior and your actions. So how do you engineer your drives so you get the outcome that you rationally think of that you want to happen? You can't use willpower and discipline to brute force yourself to do something. If you want to change your behavior, you don't command yourself like a dictator. You have to change your environment and steer your drives so that certain ones are stronger and other drives are weaker. So you can strengthen a drive with ritual, with habits, with reward, with symbolism. This is what I do. I create a mythology and a symbolism all throughout my life and my daily day-to-day activities. When you make a story, a mythic, poetic story, I see life as a work of art, and I want to create a masterful work of art, which is my life. You create rituals and habits, and you reward yourself when certain drives are stronger. And if you want to make a drive weaker, like I try to make my comfort drive weaker by using friction. So if I don't want to smoke weed, I will put the weed somewhere very inaccessible. So I have to try really hard. There's a lot of friction to get to the weed and use it. You can deprive a drive. So I deprive myself of sexual release. I do semen retention. And this is a great way to master your sex drive, because a lot of men are driven by lust. They're slaves to their lust. And that's because they don't know how to harness and how to sublimate and transmute their sex drive into something productive. When I know I'm going to be doing something hard, I do fasting, which is like a dopamine reset. This makes it so much easier. When you deprive yourself of food, food is comfort. When you fast, you're basically like reining in that comfort drive. And your dominance drive to be disciplined is getting stronger. So you end up choosing the correct actions. If I'm fasting, I'll lay out like sparkling water and sea salt. I have the coffee ready. I'm only going to have black coffee, obviously, no calories. But I get everything ready. I create like a ritual. I get into the mood. I tell myself this mythic story of a warrior about to do something hard. I'll take a cold shower, and I've linked cold showers with meditation. So after a cold shower, I naturally know my body wants to meditate. It's like about linking habits. If I'm fasting, I take a cold shower and I meditate, the next dominoes are just gonna fall naturally. I'm gonna record YouTube videos. I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna go to the gym and do a fasted workout. All the discipline habits fall into place because it's become a ritual, and it starts the night before, laying out everything for the next day. So you're like training yourself. This is what we're going to do. You've created a structure, a routine. You've organized your drives and directed them into the flow that you want them to go. That doesn't mean you're not going to wake up the next morning and just say, actually, I feel like shit, fuck this, I'm sleeping in, and then the whole thing is fucked. That could happen because your comfort drive could win. But over time, this is what's the journey of self-mastery is. You're honing and directing. You're getting better at being the director of this swarm of, it's like an orchestra of drives. So when you're younger, your sex drive is dominant. It just leads you to do whatever it wants. You're horny, you have high testosterone, you just want to do whatever your sex drive commands you to do. And as you get older, that drive becomes weaker, and you learn how to direct and transmute and sublimate your sex drive. I think the sex drive in men, this is what created civilization and culture, and everything we know was deep down, it came from men's sex drive. So the sex drive is so incredibly powerful. You can let it dominate you, or you can harness its power and direct it towards something truly productive and creative. And if you want to learn about how to do this, get my ebook, The Brutal Truth of Female Nature. If you want me personally to help you get on the path of the Ubermensch creates his own values. He has drives and instincts and impulses that you and I are completely, it's unfathomable to us. I'm on the path of becoming this Ubermensch type figure, God among men. And if you want help to get on the same path so that later when we have artificial super intelligence in a brain-machine interface, we can use that to ascend above humanity. Ubermensch Path one-on-one coaching is in the description. Like this video if you like these deep philosophical topics. I always try to relate it back to female nature and dating and stuff. And it's pretty easy to do that because, like I said, the sex drive, this is about female nature. This is about dating and women. And this is the most powerful drive we have. So leave a comment if you have anything to add to this discussion. Like the video, subscribe to my channel for more profound philosophical insights. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.